We're going to talk about the qualifying conversation. This is extremely important because there's a lot of us that just sign anyone. We just sign people that are willing to buy or that are willing to spend the money to join the business. And those people are not 100% committed. They're not 100% in. They thought that they had a vision and they saw an opportunity. And then 2 days later, a week later, they decide to quit. And how many of you guys had someone like that? Because I have. I signed up many people that weren't qualified to join the business just because I wanted to hit a rank. I was so hungry to hit a rank that I was signing people up and I wasn't qualifying them to work with me. They didn't want it as much as I wanted it. As a matter of fact, I wanted it more for themselves than that they wanted it for themselves. I wanted it more for them than they wanted it for themselves. So what I've learned through the time in Imperium and doing network marketing is that there are certain things that we have to say before we allow someone to come into our business. So I'm going to go through all of these key elements, but before I do that, I want to let you guys know that it's very important, okay, extremely important. If you're not a diamond or green diamond and above, as a matter of fact, we do have a new diamond, but she's not here. And I also wanted her to speak, but you guys heard of Karen. Karen is flying through the ranks, okay? She's in her 3rd month, about to hit blue diamond. She's going to way blow past 50,000 points this month. And it's 3.5 months that she's been on the business. Incredible, okay? Because she has communication skills. She's an expert. She knows how to enroll someone into action. Everyone that comes into her team hits fast start. It's not an option. If they don't go through fast start, you can't be on my business. Here, we're all excited and we're going fast. And what I want you guys to know is that if you're a consultant, if you're new, if you're a consultant, if you're an executive, or even if you're a diamond, okay? It depends how much experience you have as a diamond, if you sustain your diamond. What is important for you to do is to contact someone from your upline to do the business opportunity for you. You're not to do the business opportunity by yourself. You are not an expert. You haven't gotten through the compensation plan. You don't have enough experience with the superfoods. So you're going to connect them with an expert. If someone asks you if they want more information about the products or if they want more information about your business, what you're going to say is, that is a great question. I'm so glad you asked that. Let me connect you with my girl, Nat. She's the one that signed me up. She's the expert. She knows everything. Do you have some time this Tuesday or Thursday? And ask them for 2 time options and contact your upline and set up a connect call. Your job is to take notes and listen to the expert do the opportunity call. You're absolutely not going to do the opportunity by yourself. You need a 3rd-party validation in the Zoom, and you need the expert. Because, for example, what if you are bringing the opportunity to your best friend and you're being so pushy and you want your best friend so badly to join the business, and your best friend is creating resistance, and just because you're pushing and you're trying to vomit the whole opportunity and all the superfoods, now your best friend doesn't even want to talk to you anymore. So we use a 3rd-party validation because you can blame it on the upline. Okay, you let the experts do the work. You don't ruin your connections or your relationships. If they say no, they didn't say no to you. They said no to the opportunity, or maybe they say no to your upline. Do you understand that? So it's important that you say, I'm so glad you asked that. Let me put you in touch. Let me connect you. Let me introduce you to the person that signed me up. I signed up 2 days ago, so I have no idea, but she's the expert. She's going to be able to answer all of your questions better than myself. Let's set up a Zoom. When is it a good time for you? Would you be open this Tuesday or Friday? Say A or B. Don't just give them one option because they might say no. But if you give them 2 options, if they say no to A, they can say yes to B. So I'm so glad you asked that. That's a great question. You want to know more about the business? That's a great question. So do I. I signed up 2 days ago, or I signed up a month ago. So I'm still learning with you. But let me put you on the phone with the expert, and you are going to create a connect call. If your business is not growing, it's because you're not using the experience of your upline to help you and to train you. You have to have the skills before you have the ability to close people, and not just to close people into action. Okay, because we want that person to be extremely motivated before they even sign up. So when we start the opportunity presentation or the pre-qualifying conversation, what I like to say is that, there are some commitments that I look for in people that come into our business. And we can discuss these commitments because it's going to really help me to support you the best way possible. So write that down. I want to discuss 4 commitments so I can support you to the best way possible. Okay, so you're making it about them. And you're going to say the commitment number 1 of people that I'm looking for to work on this business is the commitment of time. So write that down. Number 1 is the commitment of time. Please, guys, don't paint the unrealistic picture. Okay, they're not going to be making thousands of dollars when they get started. No one does in any business. As a matter of fact, it's going to take them almost a year to be fairly underpaid. I would say underpaid. The first year we're all underpaid. I was underpaid. My first paycheck was $59. My second one was $90. I think my third one was like $86. Okay, and I was working a lot. So don't paint the unrealistic picture. Tell them all of the leaders in the company have thrived after a year. Okay, it's going to take some digging and some planting the seeds. And I have found in my experience, okay, so write that down. I have found in my experience that a reasonable part-time effort in this business is of 10 to 15 hours a week. I have found in my experience that a reasonable part-time effort, it's of 10 to 15 hours a week. And I know what you're thinking, Lori. You're probably thinking that that's way too much. That's too overwhelming. Like, no, in order to thrive, you have to be full-time. You have to be, working every single time of the day. But let me tell you, I work with a lot of people just like you every day. There's no reason why you can't do this. I work with business owners. Karen runs a full business and she is going to hit Blue Diamond in her 3rd month. Okay, so people that do well have other businesses as well, and they don't do this full time. So commitment number 1, commitment of time. I had found in my experience that a reasonable part-time effort is of 10 to 15 hours a week. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking that this is too much. How are you going to do it? Or that you need to work full time in order to be successful in this business. But let me tell you, I work with a lot of people just like you. And if this is not your experience, you can say, we work with a lot of people just like you. There's no reason why you can't do this. And then you're going to ask the magic question. Is this something you can commit to? You must ask that question. Is this something you can commit to? Because a lot of people want to sign up to the business, but they're not really committed to put in the time and the effort. Is this something you can commit to? And if they said, yes, I can commit to 10 to 15 hours, that's awesome. Now they just made a declaration to commit. And you said, great, that's awesome. So the second commitment that I'm looking for, Christoph, is coachability. We have a proven system at Purium. And the easier you make it for me to teach it to you, the faster we're going to move and the more fun that we're going to have. Okay, so commitment number 2, I'm going to repeat that again. Coachability. Look, Jen, we have a proven system at Purium. And the easier you make it for me to teach it to you, the faster we'll move and the more fun we're going to have. So you're letting them know we have a system. And the easier that they make it for you to teach it to them, the faster they're going to rank advanced. If they're not coachable and you can't teach them the skills, they're not going to get anywhere. Because this is the business of skills. So you got to learn the skills. And then commitment number 3, training. Look, we have tons of training here with our team, with Purium and the Holistic Justice League. Your commitment to training, Jen, it's going to make all the difference between success and failure, or success and a slow pace, however you want to word it. Okay. So commitment number 3 is the commitment of training. We have lots of trainings with our team, the Holistic Justice League and Purium. Your commitment to training will make the difference between your success or failure. The number one way that I will train you is talking on the phone. I will not train you through text message. I owe it to you. You're committed to this, and I'm gonna hold your hand, Lori, but I will not coach you through text message. We're gonna get on a phone call. You need to let that commitment up front. If you're signing new brand partners and then you're trying to coach them through a text message, there's no bond being generated. There's no connection. That brand partner is going to feel so comfortable to quit because they haven't felt that voice, that connection, the energy, the bonding, of our throat chakra, of our heart, the energy that, creates this connection between two people. And that can't be replaced by a text message. So that's the third commitment. And the last commitment, Cody, it's going to be talking on the phone. Connect calls are extremely important. All right. Remember, and you're going to, remind them. Remember when you and me had that conversation when you were interested about the products and I put you on the phone with Raw or with Seema or with Melissa? Remember that call, Jen? So your job is going to be to put me on the calls with these people. All right. This is the number one way for me to help you kickstart your business. This is the number one way for me to help you to kickstart your business. You're going to put me on the phone with connect calls. You got to find people that are interested and want to know more, and you put them on the phone with an expert that does the opportunity for you. You are going to have more respect because you're going to be this friend that they know all their life that now is putting them on the phone with this expert. Okay. So these are the 4 commitments that you have to do. There's 4 commitments that we need to discuss, and I'll run through the whole thing again, because I can do this in less than 5 minutes. Look, Lori, there's 4 commitments that we need to discuss so I can support you the best way possible before we get you into the business, because it's very important for me to know that you can commit to these things so we're a good match, because we're going to have a long-term relationship. We're going to become best friends, and we're going to make millions of dollars, and we're going to help hundreds of thousands of people around the world to feel good with their bodies and with their health. So these commitments are very important for me, Cody. And the first commitment that I'm looking for is the commitment of time. Yes, it's going to take some time, just like any other business. It takes almost a year of full commitment without quitting to start to see a lot of fruits come up. And I have found in my experience that a reasonable part-time effort is of 10 to 15 hours a week. And I know what you're thinking, Coda. You probably think that it's unrealistic, 10 to 15 hours a week. But I work with a lot of people just like you every day. There's no reason why we can't do this. Is that something that you can commit to, Cody? The second commitment that I really want you to feel in alignment with is being coachable. Coachability is very important. We have a proven system at Purium, and the easier you make it for me to teach it to you, the faster it will move and the more fun that we're going to have together. The third one is training. We have tons of training. And if you can commit to attending the trainings, your commitment is going to make all the difference between success and failure, or with moving fast or going really, really slow. And the number one way that I will train you, Cody, is by talking on the phone. I will absolutely not train you by text message. I owe it to you. We're going to do this together. If you trust me to get on this journey, I'm going to hold your hand. So that leads me to the last commitment that I'm looking for, and it's talking on the phone. Connect goals. Remember that call that we did when we first introduced you to the products or to the business? The number way for me to help you to kickstart your business is to put me on the phone. How does that sound? Can you commit to these 4 things? Because if you do, let's get you signed up right now. Let's blow through the compensation plan together. Let's help everyone around us. You see how I'm setting up the commitments? And if they can't commit to those 4 things, I tell them, you know what, Cody, I think that you should stay as a customer for a couple more weeks. Try the products, fall in love with the products, share it with your mom. You know, when you're ready to commit to these 4 things, we can crush this together. How does that sound? Now you keep your loyal customers as customers, you keep them as happy, you keep them inspired, and you only filter quality people that are ready to work, people that are ready to take actions needed to get to the next level. But it's up to your initial conversation to set the boundaries. And you can say, you know what? I am a rising star in the company. I am so hungry to do this that I want to work with only people that are excited and people that can work around these boundaries of talking on the phone, you know, of showing up to the trainings, to committing to the time, because I like to go fast. And if you want to go slow, that's not a problem. We can still work together, but I'm just going to team you up with someone in my organization that goes a little slower, because I personally work with people that go fast. Do you see how that sounds? And you don't have to be a crown. You can be just a rising star, someone that is really hungry and really willing to do the work. When someone comes across that conversation, if they say yes, they're going to go through fast start. I promise you, because I've been doing this. And it's important that you set the boundaries from the beginning. Okay, and then we have the onboarding conversation, which we already talked about this in this video. There's another question that I like to ask, okay, because a lot of people don't know how to say no. Okay, a lot of people just don't know how to say no. So they make excuses. They just keep talking and talking because they just don't know how. They ignore you. Okay, they ghost you. So what I like to ask, and you guys can write down this question, and it has to be said exactly how I tell you. Look, Christoph, Cody, Lori, whatever their name is, are you having a hard time telling me no? Ask them, are you having a hard time telling me no? If they don't want to get on a Zoom call, are you having a hard time telling me no? You can't get on a Zoom call? Are you having a hard time telling me no? Do not say, are you saying no to me? Because now you're making it about you. Okay? Don't mess it up like that. It could be dark and light. Are you having a hard time telling me no? Are you is about them. If you're saying, are you having a hard time saying no to me? You make it about you. You know, you're taking it personal. So remember, it's always about them. And then they're going to tell you, you know what? Yeah, I'm having a hard time saying no because I'm very conflicted right now. You know, this might not be the right timing for me. And they're going to explain whatever, you know, show ups for them. But it's really important that you ask that question if you feel that they're having a hard time saying no. This conversation will create lots of leverage, okay? Lots of leverage later on. Because let's say they committed to these 4 things, they sign up to the business, and 3 weeks go by and they haven't done nothing. Or a month goes by and they just wasted their consultant month. So what's going to happen? So you're going to call them and you're going to tell them, hey, Lori, remember when we first talked, you said you wanted to make some money? Remember those commitments that we agreed on? Does that steal your goal? Remember when we first spoke, you said that you could commit 10 to 15 hours part-time? Does that steal your goal? Are you happy with the pace of your business? Write down these questions because you're going to leverage this conversation later on. Look, you committed to these things. Is that still the goal? Because I'm not seeing you showing up and I need to know because I owe it to you. You trusted me and I want to hold you accountable. You see how now you're using leverage from this conversation, how essential it is? Because if they say yes, now they lost the integrity. They don't have integrity with their word. And that's the worst thing someone can ever do. It's just lose integrity with their words. So some people will do anything just to not lose integrity to the word. But it's up to you to show up as a leader so you can start attracting people that show up the same way. If you see, I covered all of this in less than 25 minutes. This conversation could literally take 10 minutes. And the more that you practice it, the better you're going to become. And you're going to be doing this with your upline anyways. So don't worry if you don't feel comfortable yet. Your upline is going to help you because they're going to do this a bunch of times. And by the 5th or 6th time, you're going to say, you know what? I got it. I think I can do this. Okay. And even though you still want a third-party validation, you always want an expert until you have the story and you can say, I am a crown. I'm one of the top leaders and top earners in the company. I am very busy, as you can imagine. So I work with people that are excited and that can work around the boundaries and the commitments that I have. So you want to be able to craft that story. And that means that you need to plug your upline and connect calls. If you're not growing, make a commitment to yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to put 5 connect calls with my upline per week. I would call my sister and I will tell her, hey, can you please join the Zoom? I just need people to be present, just to support. Can you just show up? I need at least 20 people so I don't look bad. Can you please show up? And I will call my brother. I could call my other sister. I call my mom. And I ask my sister's mother-in-law, hey, can you please join to the Zoom? I just need to have 20 people in there. I don't want to look bad, you know? So can you please join? Just stay there and you just pretend that you're enjoying and you're a guest. And then guess what? I signed all of them up because they got so inspired. They all try the products just because I asked them just to be a guest, just to show up to support me. You can invite your friend. You're like, look, I'm doing this business. I just need you to support. I'm not expecting you to buy. You don't even have to buy anything, but could you do this with my upline? I just really need to practice. And put them on the phone with your upline. I guarantee you they're going to want to sign up. Get creative. People need to be exposed to what we have to be inspired because it might not be for them, but immediately they can think about their mother-in-law, their brother. But you're going to put the upline in the phone. If you try to do the enrollment by yourself, this is probably why you're not growing. Or you enroll in the wrong people and your business is plateau. Your business is not growing because you're not setting commitments the right way. Great. So that is what I have to offer you guys. I'm going to pause the recording.